Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hi everyone, I am your voice of Descendants and Zombies, Jonathan Clarke, here to help you make sense of everything Descendants and Zombies. Thank you so much for the outpouring of love and support you have shown my YouTube channel. I honestly don't know where I would be in the world today without each and every one of you and your love and support, which you've constantly shown this YouTube channel from the very first video that was uploaded on this YouTube channel. When I showed up from out of nowhere and promised you a bunch of Descendants and Zombies videos, at least one Descendants and Zombies video every day was promised to emerge on this YouTube channel, and you guys have fallen in love with this YouTube channel and shown a constant outpouring of love and support to this YouTube channel that I can't even put into words how appreciative I am of. I'm just so honored to be here talking about Descendants and Zombies, and I for one am really excited about Zombies 5. All the predictions that are made early on about Zombies 5, I can't seem to get enough of it, and every day I'm reading your guys' predictions, and I'm so excited to hear what you guys have to say about Zombies 5. The predictions of mermaids, pirates, sirens, witches. It really could be anything. It's really too early to draw any conclusion as to what's inside of that vortex, but I have never encountered a vortex in my life. I know a vortex is usually associated with doom and some really great threats for Seabrook approaching us now, but I'm looking forward to finding out what's inside of that vortex just as much as each and every one of you are, and seeing how this love story between Victor and Nova now will unfold, because I think this is going to be a very beautiful love story, and I really appreciate that they have a love story in the Zombies franchise that is far more powerful than any love story we have ever seen for Descendants or Zombies in the past. I think this franchise is going to be filled with a lot of mystery now as we embark on an opening up of a new door for the Descendants and Zombies franchises, and I think that it's a really exciting time to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I'm just really honored to be here to cover it for you in the way it's meant to be covered for a very long time, because I think a lot of people fill their videos up with criticism about Zombies and Descendants, and I just wanted to alleviate that pressure off the shoulders of you guys who are always YouTubing Descendants and Zombies videos every day of your life. I think you deserve better. I think you deserve better commentaries, different analogies about Descendants and Zombies that you've never heard before, and I'm just here to give that to you guys. So much so that I took the liberty of moving into a home near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment, because I wanted to experience what it would be like to live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant, just as they did in the Zombies movie when it first premiered in February of 2018. It was a couple of days after Valentine's Day, and it was right around the time that everybody was really excited about Descendants, and it fit perfectly with what Descendants was trying to promote. It promoted hope, it promoted acceptance, it promoted second chances, and I really appreciated that, because never before had a Disney franchise promoted as much hope and as much second chances, or the believement that second chances and hope existed, like Descendants and Zombies did. It promoted empowerment. It gave you a chance to believe in your dreams more than you ever had before. And now more people are friends than ever before because of Descendants and Zombies. I think this is the most powerful script that I've ever had the honor of actually looking at and being a part of, because I've been a part of a lot of huge stage productions over the years, from High School Musical to Hamlet to Romeo and Juliet to Phantom of the Opera. Think about it, and I've been a part of it, and this has been the greatest honor of my life, to be able to provide commentary on a niche that is really supportive of me and really has fallen in love with my commentaries, because there is no place in the world I would rather be this afternoon than sitting right behind this podcast microphone talking about Descendants and Zombies in the way that it's been meant to be talked about for a very long time. I want to say thank you for the outpouring of love and support you guys have constantly shown this YouTube channel. When I felt like I had nobody to talk to, I had the Descendants and Zombies universe, and I had you guys to tell everything that was going on in my own life that you could relate to, perhaps, I don't know. But it's really such an honor for me to be able to be here to talk about Descendants and Zombies. And I've had a lot of crazy situations in my life where I thought my girlfriend was a vampire. I lived with a werewolf for years. And I tell these funny stories because it reminds you of certain situations that happened in Zombies, like when werewolves saw their introduction into the Zombies franchise for the very first time ever. That was an exciting time, because by Zombies 2, it was just focusing on the relationship between a girl and a zombie and how the two of them could fall in love and stay in love for the rest of time. And I really appreciated that, because I think the movie really represented acceptance and second chances and hope for everybody. And that's what we got from the first Zombies movie. At that point, we didn't know if Zombies was going to have a sequel, but it eventually did. By 2018, here comes Zombies 2, and it was a powerful movie that everybody fell in love with the introduction of werewolves. And then by Zombies 3, aliens showed up from out of nowhere. And the funny thing is, to coincide with that, I'm following this really interesting story about how there's an alien probe on the way to Earth to kill us all in less than 100 days. So this thing is apparently on its way to Earth, reportedly to kill us all. I just want to put it out there that if this alien probe wants anything to do with you guys, they're going to have to go through me first. Because the Descendants and Zombies universe is the most supportive universe in the world, and they are incredibly supportive. I may only have 3,000 fans subscribed to this YouTube channel, but they are the most incredibly supportive fans in the galaxy, and I never ever want to lose you guys, because of the bond that we've created for ourselves off Descendants and Zombies. This is the honor of my life, and if there's one fond memory that I will take away with me after my career has finally told its final story, it will be getting the honor to know each and every one of you, because that's really what it is. I think that the host of shows on YouTube really don't have an appreciation for Descendants and Zombies, and that's where the confliction arises, and where all the criticism comes from is because it has a lot to do with jealousy. It has a lot to do with the profound success that we've seen Clarke and Trell and Meg Donnelly have, because they're so passionate about these roles, because they know how much of a chance they were given to portray these roles. When Clarke and Trell first donned the role of Red, she was incredibly excited, and that's something she's never given enough credit for. She was incredibly excited, and she did everything with a smile, and then she became the victim of so much criticism, and I mean everything that Clarke and Trell could have been criticized for, she was. From a political point of view, being dragged into a conversation that had no business being dragged into a conversation or found within a conversation, to her relationship which she couldn't make sense of. I've often said this about Clarke and Trell. Clarke and Trell is a beautiful soul, and she is so kind, she is so full of life, she is so full of inspiration, and she has offered that inspiration to so many fans. I have seen Clarke and Trell on TikTok videos many times over the years offering advice to fans who want to get into the same industry and line of work that Clarke and Trell is in, because they want to be an aspiring actress. Maybe not for the Descendants franchise, but for something else. And the best piece of advice that I can give anyone that wants to be a part of the theater world is just perceive yourself for how you want to be perceived. And if the audience loves you, they're going to love you. And if they don't love you, they're also going to let you know about it. So the thing is, you can pretty crash and burn every single time that you step out there on that stage. But the best person that you can be is yourself. I've seen so many people drastically fail at wanting to be an aspiring actor or actress or a singer because they thought they knew everything at such a young age, and they crashed and burned ever before they knew it. And I don't want to see that happen for anybody who wants to get into the same line of work or have the same kind of passion like Clarke and Trell, because a lot of people draw inspiration from Descendants and Zombies. So if you can't put a lyric to a melody, then it's not right for you to do it. But if you can, and you know you can, and you have the support from your friends and your family and the financial support to back you, then go for it, because you only have one life to live. And a dream is a wish that only your heart can make. I know that's a quote from Cinderella, but it's a quote that I've always carried with me ever since I first heard it. And that was back in 1987, I think, was the first time I saw Cinderella. And that wasn't yesterday. I was 2.5 years old. But that was one quote that I remembered from Cinderella that I always carried with me, because it's the best piece of advice that I can give anybody, because your heart really is your best friend. And because these stars followed their hearts, it led them to the franchise of Descendants, and after a 5-year hiatus, after Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson had done a powerful portrayal of the VK kids, Sophia Carson's character Evie, Dove Cameron's character Mal, here come these very powerful, fierce characters that don't really care what anybody thinks of them. All they want to do is just bring the Descendants franchise back to life in a way that it was meaning to bring brought back to life. And they did it in such a powerful way, a very different way from the past stars of Descendants, because what the original Descendants movies focused on were just basically relationships. There were really no conflict that was presented in Descendants, only conflict over Ben and Mal's relationship, because Ursula's daughter, Uma, wanted something more out of the experience of attending Oradon Prep at the time. She wanted to cause her own form of conflict, and she had the opportunity to do it when she presented conflict to Mal's character. As cool as it was for Mal to have a villain to encounter and to really realize her fullest potential, I think that there could have been more focus on more of a story in the Descendants franchise, but I think that what people fell in love with was the focus on relationships and the characters just in general, that more of a story could be told to. And I think the writer and producer of Descendants for the Rise of Red, Jennifer Fang, did a fabulous job really bringing that to life and really realizing what you guys wanted to get the most out of your Descendants experience, because it's one thing to tell a story between two people, but then it's another different experience to tell a story about a person that you don't really know a whole lot about. And we didn't know a whole lot about Red's character, only the fact that she was the Queen of Hearts' daughter. And the Queen of Hearts wanted her to become something so fierce and so powerful, but she ultimately wanted to become something fierce and powerful, but in her own right, with her own meaning put behind it. And that's what we noticed from the opening dance number, Red. It was a very powerful song that really introduced us to a character that was going to have so much influence on the Descendants franchise and go on to touch so many hearts. The Worlds Collide Tour opened up with a dance number, Red, with the red army carrying Kali Cantrell out on a pedestal. And she was deserving of being on that pedestal for how much she's meant to the franchise. And she opened up the concert with how every dream that you may have is going to happen for you. No matter when it happens or how it's derived, it can happen for anybody. And I'm here to instill that same message in all of your hearts, that a dream can and will happen for you. Regardless of how it happens and when it happens for you, it will happen for you. It's just going to take some time, because as the old familiar saying goes, nothing happens overnight. And I wish dreams would happen more quickly and more instantly for each and every one of us. But if you think about it, if a dream happened instantly overnight, would it really have that much meaning attached to it? Would it really mean something to you? Would you feel a point of accomplishment in your life if it didn't take time for a dream to evolve into something spectacular? I mean, Descendants, for instance, was just a thought years ago in the minds of writers and producers. They never ever thought it would amount to anything spectacular until Kenny Ortega signed on and became the first director of Descendants. And because of his history with High School Musical and Hocus Pocus, which I was a huge fan of, this blew up as an action-adventure musical. And it received so many great reviews that it received sequel after sequel after sequel, to a point where Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson believed they had told the story and completed it, and it just wouldn't feel right without Cameron Boyce. I will be honest with each and every one of you, Descendants has never felt right since Cameron Boyce parted ways with the franchise and passed away. I think that his character was a character that was overshadowed by a lot of stuff happening with the Descendants franchise at the time, and he was never given enough credit. I think that if we had our time back, he probably would have had more influence on Descendants and really would have had more of a significant impact than what he did. And I just want to say that the tributes that people have been posting about Cameron Boyce over the last number of years have been beautiful, from both fans and celebrities who knew him, who had the chance to work with him, from Peyton List to Dove Cameron to Sophia Carson. Beautifully done and beautifully represented. It just goes to show just how valuable time is, because time always runs out, and that's what Descendants has taught us. With the time we are allocated, it's all about how we spend time, and it's up to you how you spend that time that you're allocated. I know for sure that if I was in possession of a pocket watch, I would go back in time and I would fix a lot of the mistakes that I've made. I would tell more people that I love them that I never had the opportunity to do, because I lost my parents at a very young age. So I think I would go back in time. I would tell my parents more than I ever did that I love them. I would try to fix some of the mistakes that I made, because I will admit to each and every one of you, as I've done many times over the years, that I'm far from perfect. And we are all equal. That's the thing. I know there's somebody out there that feels the same way that I do about how many mistakes they've made, how many regrets they may wake up with every day of their life, and it may look them right in the face when they look at themselves in the mirror. But I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, and you never did anything wrong. It's just you're trying to figure out your place in the world, and that's what Descendants and Zombies is really trying to help us figure out. I mean, Addison didn't know she was going to go on to achieve a chair scholarship. Zed didn't know he was going to go on to achieve a football scholarship, and they were going to fall in love for forever, because they were just trying to achieve acceptance in Seabrook at the time when Zombies first premiered. And I really loved how that movie opened up. You know, this was going to be my year, just as Legends in the Making really set the tone for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. They were going out on a road trip. They didn't know what to expect, and they run into Victor and Nova. And there's so much conflict between Daywalkers and Nightwalkers. But of course, Sunnyside and Seabrook are, going head to head in this unbelievable war over the blood fruit, and it was one of the best stories that I think was ever written for the Zombies franchise, and so many unpredictable characters saw their introduction into the franchise. But for the life of me, I don't know why people resorted to so much criticism. It's almost as if they couldn't understand the story behind the Daywalkers and the Nightwalkers, and how Sunnyside was presenting confliction into the story. It was a pretty simple concept. Vampires in the daytime were called Daywalkers, vampires in the nighttime were called Nightwalkers, and they were conflicting over the blood fruit. And there was a pending war over that. And I really liked that. And I really liked how Victor and Nova saw each other in their dreams, building us up to this new franchise, which has yet to premiere, which I think can go in so many different directions, especially with what has yet to be revealed inside of that vortex forthcoming. I'm really excited about that. And I've lived on an island for years that have had so many stories about pirates and mermaids surrounding it. And I've really investigated that, and I've loved reading stories about mermaids and pirates, and I think they would add a lot of confliction and a lot of unpredictable moments to the Zombies franchise. And I, for one, am really excited to see what sort of CGI and special effects will find their way into the Zombies franchise, what sort of creative direction and common sense Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim will offer to the franchise that meant so much to them as actors and actresses that really were their breakout roles as writers and producers now. Because I think it's a moment in time, a moment in history, when somebody who's who's been a part of a franchise for forever becomes an executive producer, like Selena Gomez. It meant so much to her to be a part of Wizards of Waverly Place back in 2005, 2006. Now she's sitting in the director's chair for Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. Now that series probably won't last no long enough, but the thing is, she's finally had the opportunity to be a producer, not only for this, but other projects also. So now with Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim coming in as a writer and producer of this, it's probably better for them to be writers and producers of this, as opposed to making cameos, which has yet to be remained. Because the thing is, as a writer and producer, you have so much creative say, which they didn't have at 16 years old coming into Disney, because they wanted more than ever to have creative energy bestowed upon them for their characters, which I think would have been good. You know, if you would have trusted them at 16 years old to have some creative say when they were really trying to figure out their life, they would have became smarter, they would have knew more. And it's not to say they didn't get eventually to that point, but I think they would have, felt a sense of freedom, and they wouldn't have felt like they were in balls and chains all the time from the Disney company that expected you to know so much at just 8 years old. This happened for Miley Cyrus years ago. She learned so much so quickly and became a blow-up overnight because of it, and became one of the greatest stars of all time. And I think that if you gave that same kind of creative control to people like Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim, I think that they would have definitely benefited from that. But I think now, there's never been a better time to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I'm incredibly excited to see where we go from here with the love story of Victor and Nova yet to be told, the characters yet to see their introduction into the franchise, and we have so many storylines going to be presented for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland that are going to be really exciting times for fans of Descendants and Zombies, because I think these storylines for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, with the upcoming movie in summer 2026, oh man, this story is far from over. We have, of course, Red Sister Pink, one of the consequences of time travel, perhaps the biggest consequence and most obvious consequence of time travel. The Mad Hatter said that one shouldn't expect to mess with the fabric of time and not expect consequences. So she's one of the consequences of time travel. What kind of conflict will she present for Red and Chloe, and what will they have to encounter now? I'm really excited about that. How will the Queen of Hearts, now being good, affect the story? Because we've never seen the Queen of Hearts or even known the Queen of Hearts to have a kind soul. So with the times being changed now, how will this affect the Descendants franchise? We have still so many unanswered questions, but questions I'm excited to have answers for, because I know how much the franchise has been to each and every single person who has ever said proudly they are a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I feel like I've been a fan of Descendants and Zombies all of my life, and one of the greatest honors that I've ever had is getting the opportunity to meet all of you and become friends with each and every one of you. And the cool thing is, I have so many wonderful people yet to meet, being fans of Descendants and Zombies, and I love creating these videos, and I hope to get to meet you through creating these videos and telling you my opinions on Descendants and Zombies and sharing that with you, because I've provided commentary on a lot of different things over the years, but I've never had the honor, the distinction of talking about a niche that's so powerful as Descendants and Zombies, because I talked about video games, TV, movies, but I have never had the response that this franchise has given me and shown me. The love that you guys have shown me is unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel, because I honestly don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. I try to put up as many videos as I can every day throughout the day for you about Descendants and Zombies to help you make sense of these franchises, because I feel as if a lot of people who are talking about Descendants and Zombies are pretty much just reviewing the franchise for what it's worth, ranking the songs, talking about their favorite moments. But what you want to hear is not what you're seeing in these videos. You want to hear videos that are filled with positive reviews, that give you hope that something positive will happen for Descendants and Zombies. And that's all I've ever really wanted to do, which I feel a lot of people really aren't following through with. Because they tell you to hit your subscribe button and their like button, but where are the Descendants and Zombies videos that they promised you? You never ever get that. And the thing is, I just wanted to be that guy to give that to you, so that you knew when I was going to show up, you would get your Descendants and Zombies videos, and you would have more of a reason than ever before to hit my subscribe button. You know, a year and a half ago, I never thought this YouTube channel would see 500 subscribers. Now I have 3,000. That's insane. I have over 2,000 plus watch hours and 54,000 views as of this morning. Thank you guys so much for that. I can promise you one thing. While I don't know what the future has in store for all of us, I know that this show will forever and always be here for you in support of Descendants and Zombies, because you guys have deserved a podcast and a YouTube program about Descendants and Zombies for a very long time. Disney doesn't even go out of its way to give you a Descendants and Zombies podcast until this show showed up. And it's really the greatest honor of my life to be able to sit here behind this podcast microphone, to have talked about Descendants and Zombies in the way I believe it's been meant to be talked about for a very long time. I myself would love to drive side by side through a rabbit hole. I would love to go back in time. I would love to go back in the 1990s, an era that Clarke and Clarke wanted to live through. And I'll talk about this more this afternoon on my final show when I talk about how I want to go back in the 1990s and experience the rise of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Britney Spears and popular TV shows like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark one final time. Because I think that growing up as a millennial was one of the greatest honors of my lifetime, and I wish Clarke and Clarke would have had the honor to do that, because Kylie always talks about the 1990s and wanting to go back in time and experience that, because of course Kylie was born in 2005, June of 2005, when our lives changed for the better, I think. Because Kylie came into this world with such passion and such dedication for everybody and to everything that she loved. So why does she deserve all this criticism? I really don't know. If the girl wanted to sit on YouTube at 9 years old and record videos like her friends and sing and dance, then more power to her. I encourage that. I encourage anybody who wants to create their own YouTube channel and upload videos on whatever niche they want to provide commentaries for or create the content for, to go for it. Because you only have one life to live. And if you're going to live your life out, then you should live out your life the way you want to live it out. Because years ago, I never had the opportunity to do that. It's only now that I'm really coming into my own as an independent YouTube creator, shooting videos out of his office. You know, for years I was the co-host of a lot of radio shows. I eventually became the host of my own radio program. It wasn't going the direction I wanted it to until I met every one of you. And that was the greatest honor of my life, having the honor to meet each and every one of you and talk to you about Descendants and Zombies the way I believe that it's meant to be talked about for a very long time. I want to say thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. And while I may not know what the future has in store for this YouTube channel, I know that there are so many people who have yet to discover this YouTube channel who are going to be very thankful they found this YouTube channel when they did, because this YouTube channel is filled with positive messages and positive reviews of what you love, and I know you love it, and I want to give you the best reviews of Descendants and Zombies that nobody else has ever given you before, because I think you deserve that. I think you deserve to hear nothing but the best about your favorite stars, about your favorite celebrities. It is so cool how we can come together because of Descendants and Zombies, and this franchise has had a profound impact on all of our hearts. I will be back later on tonight with a final video about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you, and I invite you to join me for it. I know I have a lot of people who love Descendants and Zombies who really depend on these videos to help them get themselves through the day, and it's such an honor to be here to be able to commentate on Descendants and Zombies in the way I believe it's meant to be talked about for a very long time. Do I think that we should shut the door on anything happening for either franchise? No, I really don't. I think we should give it more hope than we've ever given it before, because that's what Descendants and Zombies has wanted to do for us. It's wanted to show us that there is light at the end of every darkness. There is hope that exists. There is such a thing as a second chance and a miracle happening for everybody, because a dream is a wish that only your heart can make. I think that everybody who's ever been a part of the Descendants franchise has significantly impacted it for the better, and I think that people have learned valuable life lessons that they've taken away from Descendants and Zombies, and it's been such an honor of mine to really shed light on the franchises that have meant so much to us for what feels like forever, and I plan to do that, even if it means having to do that for the rest of my life, every single day, and cherish every single moment that I can possibly cherish for each and every one of you. It is truly unbelievable how Descendants and Zombies has impacted all of our lives, and I just want to be a part of it. Every moment I want to make count, and I want to make meaningful for each and every one of you, and I like to believe I've done that somewhere, somehow, through the power of Descendants and Zombies. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I have to tell you, I have to remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I would love for you to be a part of this incredible journey that you girls have had me on for what feels like forever, because I honestly can't do this without you. One of the greatest honors is knowing that somebody subscribes to your channel because he or she loves your videos. And I know I have a lot of girls subscribe to this YouTube channel who depend on these videos for incentive. And I'm doing the best I can to make sure that Zombies and Descendants happens for you as fast as possible. We have a year to wait until Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland drops, and up to 4 years until Zombies 5 surfaces in 2028. But even if it is a 4-year wait before Zombies 5 happens, I will forever and always be here for each and every one of you, and you can rely on this show for something positive to be said about Descendants and Zombies. While others may choose to criticize the franchise. I don't want to do that for you guys. I want to make this the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world, and some way or somehow I like to believe that I did that in some capacity. And you guys have shown your love for this channel by how many times you subscribe to it, how many times you hit the like button. I can never thank you enough. I can never seem to put into words how much you mean to me for having me made one of the most famous YouTube channels in the history of YouTube. Thank you guys so much for that, and thank you for allowing me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies for however long it's been. I know I've been uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies for over 10 years, and it's really been the time of my life to be able to put these videos together for you in such a way, with such passion, that it's been meant to be put together for a very long time. And I just want to say thank you for just being here for me for the very beginning, because some of the first subscribers that I've ever put up on this YouTube channel are still here, and I honestly can't believe that you're still here, because when you could have quit on me, you didn't, and you've made this YouTube channel the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now, and I can't even put into words how appreciative I am of each and every one of you. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this video right now. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown me. I have one more video to go, which I hope you will join me for. Keep kindness in your heart, as I will keep you in mind, and we will talk again in just a few hours from now, as always, about your favorite franchises, Descendants and Zombies.